Hi, everyone. It's Barbara C. Phillips, founder of Nurse Practitioner Business Owner and the Clinician Business Institute. And I want to talk to you today about Medicare and about opting in and out of Medicare. This is one of the most common questions that I see over and over again, and there seems to be a lot of confusion about it. So, first of all, when we talk about Medicare, we need to realize that nurse practitioners, actually physicians and PAs and a lot of other clinicians, we are considered eligible providers for Medicare. And it is in the Social Security Act that we are required to bill Medicare for Medicare beneficiaries for the healthcare services that we provide, as long as those services are required. Even if you have not yet credentialed with Medicare, if you saw a Medicare person, a beneficiary, and you paid cash and then they turn around and send it in to Medicare, you're liable because you should have billed Medicare to begin with. So, in order to avoid all of that potential problem, and I'm always saying, don't mess with the IRS, don't mess with the government. You want to do this right. So, if you are credentialed with Medicare, you must bill Medicare. Now, where the confusion comes in is that a lot of people feel that if they are seeing a Medicare beneficiary in their private practice and they have decided not to take Medicare in that practice, then they can just charge that patient cash. On the other hand, they may still have a side job or maybe even their full-time employment, and they're doing this as a side. And at that clinic takes Medicare and bills for them as the provider. And you can't do that. You're either in Medicare or you're out of Medicare. It's totally black and white. This is one of those few things in healthcare that is black and white. There's no gray area here. It's a global thing. You're either in or you're out. When you get a provider number, when you opt out, no matter what it is, it's always connected to your individual NPI number. And your NPI number stays with you until the day that you die. It is yours for your life. So everything is attached to that. So your Medicare status, whether you're opted in or opted out, is on your NPI number. So if you're opted out, nobody can bill for you. It'll just be rejected. So I hope that that helps clear it up. But let me give you a little documentation here. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And here we go. So this is on cms.gov, provider enrollment certification, how to manage your enrollment. And so there's a whole lot of things here about becoming a provider and also opting out as a provider. So I'm going to scroll down here to the opt out section. So again, what does it mean to opt out of Medicare? That you don't want to bill Medicare for your services. Okay, your patients will be paying out of pocket. You will be put on an opt out list. And to opt out, you need to be eligible type or a specialty, which we all are. And there's a list here as well. You have to submit an opt out affidavit to Medicare, and I'll show you about that, or I'll tell you about that. And you enter into a private contract with your patient. You need to do your opt out. That opt out affidavit needs to go through your Medicare area provider. And in order to do that, you're going to need to find out who that is. So it may be Noridian, it might be WPS, it could be any of them. So there's a link also here where you can find out if you are unsure. But through your Medicare area provider, if you're billing at all, you should be aware of who that is because that's who you've credentialed through. Now, one of the nice things about opting out, you're opted out for a period of 2 years, but if you change your mind, you can opt back into Medicare. You need to do so You send a cancellation request to your MAC, the Medicare area contractor, at least 30 days before your opt out is set to expire. So it renews every 2 years. And so every 2 years, you have an opportunity to opt back into Medicare if you choose to do this. Now, if you've just opted out for the very first time, then you have the 90-day initial period where you can change your mind and say, oops, I made a mistake. I don't want to do this. I really want to stay into Medicare. So they give you that 90 days, but it's only when you initially opt out of Medicare. And again, like I said, it renews every couple of years. Here's the list of eligible providers and those that are not eligible. So all of us, nurses, nurse practitioners, PAs, physicians, were in the eligible list. So the other thing that I want to mention about opting out of Medicare is that give it give it some serious consideration if you're going to do it or not. I am very much aware that there's a lot of people who are opting for doing direct pay practices and cash practices because let's face it, insurance billing can be a pain where the sun doesn't shine. And the truth of the matter is that people do have insurance and they do want to be able to use it. A growing segment of our population right now certainly is those that are Medicare beneficiaries. The other thing to consider too is, and this is an area that I get a lot of questions about, but I've opened my business and I'm a cash practice and I just can't find patients. Well, there's several issues when I hear that question. The first one is, well, who were you targeting anyway and what kind of marketing are you doing? But it is faster to build a practice with insurance. And even if you've got insurance and you get the billing game down, I mean, it's not a walk in the park. I'm not going to kid you on that. But it is a faster way to build your practice. And you'll still always have people that are paying cash. I certainly always did. There's always going to be a subsection that doesn't have insurance, period. The other part of that is a lot of people want to use cash because they have one of those healthcare plans that have high deductibles, $10,000, $5,000. The thing is even if you're seeing those people, if you have a cash practice, if you were doing an insurance-based practice, you can still bill them, but you should either give them the paperwork to submit to their insurance company so it goes against their deductible. Or if you are credentialed with that plan, then you still need to do the billing and then collect what's allowed you. So I went a little bit more than just Medicare opt out, but those are very, very common questions that I get around Medicare opting out and insurance-based practices and that sort of thing. So I hope this has helped. I'm going to leave the link below this video for the Medicare page that I showed you. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the NP Business channel. I sure would appreciate it, and we'll let you know when the next video is out. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and I'll talk to you another time. Bye-bye now.